Tracking human decomposition traces, investigators delve into a puzzling mystery, seeking truth. Will Sebastian ever be brought home? Is he still alive?
Really, we're trying to find out if Sebastian was there or has his body ever been there, right? Detective, human decomp through surface, all this stuff, right? All right, let's keep going. 7, now they're giving us the dogs. 7 and Rambo is a 3-year-old border collie. 7 and the Rambo is 6 years old. Again, they both passed validation DNA K9 testing by their handlers, Roy on this one and Alex on this one. All right, now let's just take a look at some of these. This is Roy and Alex on the retention pond and the coordinates, and a cemetery was observed spanning the area. We don't know that Sebastian wasn't put in that cemetery at some point or even now. We don't know. We know Katie ran off and said she was looking for Sebastian, but her windows weren't down when she was yelling for him. We know that they didn't call 911, but we know that Katie called Chris and Chris phoned a friend, right? That's what we do know. Please don't advertise the troll. Simply delete. Don't give a platform at all. Absolutely, Casey Case. All right. Yeah, let's keep going. All right. So listen, retention pond 2, they're talking about the first one, decomposition odor, and then retention pond 2, following the completion of the search by 7 and the handlers, right? They're going to tell you reports based on what we saw at the top. No identifiable graves were observed in the vicinity of the pond. Now, this is what we do need. So if this actually never happened, I don't know why anybody would waste their time with this super detailed information. It's the wildest thing ever. But, all right, we're going to continue. The search expanded from the vicinity into the pond to include an adjacent area. Retention pond 2, they're definitely detailed. Following this, handler, Alex, and company, and the dogs, right? I'm not going to read the whole thing. The final retention pond was checked by everybody, and they found the presence of human decomposition odor on the mud collected on the boots, right? The K9 7 did not indicate the presence of human comp and has been concluded to be negative, all right? And then the construction site, Steve Fisher requested an inspection of the active construction site immediately north of retention pond 3, right? And they go in to talk about the wind and all that. Noise presence, construction crew, the handler, searching the drains, etc. This is really what we do need. All right, at the end of the drainage, they're just going into details. Detail. She continues. 7 alerted to 2 separate locations within 1 to 2 meters going along a slope. These locations were marked site 1 and 2. And then they give a break for rest, come back. Upon returning, 7 was deployed from different direction. Handler ensured the ample space, right? Detailed. And 7 showed a strong indication to enter the private property. Immediately, handler intervened, preventing her from going on private property. And then we'll see pictures, right? So they got pictures. They're doing their reports. We saw at the beginning the different ponds and locations, right? So this gives you a good idea. This is pictures of them actually working in the area. All right, pond 2 or figure 2. They're talking about soil samples. You can see there, this is figure 4, depicting an area of interest indicated by the K9, all right, through the fence. 7 attempted to go through the fence into the yard. So they're showing, indicating of decomp and pictures of the dog, the soil, all that. And you see figure 5, baseballs discovered between the construction site, indicating she detected the presence of human decomposition odor here. All right, so you got another one here. Figure 6, photograph of a baseball. It slopes down the hill. Indicated she detected odor of human decomposition right here. All right, and then again, they did the soil test, which is really a lengthy process and very expensive, by the way. I don't know what they paid for this, but I've done this with companies when we're looking to buy a piece of property. They have to do soil samples sometimes, so I'm familiar with this. All right, so they did the Schiff Regent soil test, And there you go. That's what they're showing you. They're basically just documenting the soil test and the results. Again, we're going to continue going through it. Transferred infrared, excess present of fatty acids. So they're showing you how and what. All right, what they got from it, how, what the consistency is, the substance consistency and appearance with adiposary, I said earlier, introduces the possibility that a burial and decomposition event may have occurred in that particular area. However, due to the lack of confirmatory chemical analysis and inclusive test results of the soil testing, the presence of human decomposition could not be verified. Therefore, excavation is not recommended at this time in the area. All right, so they're continuing further investigation. They went into Mansard Creek. So they're doing soil samples and then just, surveying each one. Now, Mansard Creek, this is the one that they said 7 did not demonstrate any changes. That would indicate the presence of human decomposition odor until traveling up river right. Right? And that's a K9 7, demonstrated a change in behavior consistent with detection of human decomposition, marked at, here's the GPS coordinates, and I'll show you below. All right, GPS coordinates, we saw that earlier. Third pass was made by another tree completely in the river, right? And there you go. There's a river area with a tree. That is the photograph of ROV at the site of Mansard Creek. And it was recovered after it was recovered from the water. Right? You see what they're doing there. And if you guys know this case, you're familiar also with the area, right? Landmark for the location. They're just documenting everything. All right, so shoreline. The important part is that they put a lot of detail into this. They documented, they pictured it, they did soil samples, and they gave us the conclusion. And the conclusion is there's human decomposition in that area in certain places. All right, so the human decomp is pinpointed to the precise source. Can be challenging when physical accessibility. They're giving us their barriers and their figures, right? That area again. I mean, this is what we need. Is this real or did they just make this up? I would hope not. Okay, so we're going piece by piece. We're almost there. We're going to break this all down. And here they found during the search of the wood area surrounded dam boat launch, they've got some kind of bone, additional bones, including long bones identified as deer remains, raccoon skull, were located in the vicinity, right? All right, let's keep going. Targeted search was conducted. They got the people's names blocked out. Further investigation of the site is warranted, utilizing alternative methods of underwater recovery. That's what they're recommending. We saw that earlier. Potential skeleton remains. That's what they're depicting down here. If that were the case and they were to find Sebastian's body underwater in that area, well, I don't know who they would point their fingers at that point, but you see what they're looking for and going for and the outcome. The outcome is they've got human remains that they have detected at this point. Okay? So let's keep going. Ebony, good to see you, my friend. Thank you guys for being here with me and continuing to come and support the channel. All right, let's take a look at the cadaver dog search. We're probably not going to go through this whole entire video, but I do like the way Michelle After Dark breaks down the human remains detected at the construction site. So we'll take a look at that and just see if I missed anything. All right. Did they find the white powder? LOL. That's funny. Y'all are funny. All right. Let's listen in for a minute. All right.
My name is Michelle. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to another video.
All right.
One video for those who don't want to wait through 2 hours of a live stream. So buckle up. Let's go.
Yeah, I just want to show you some of the stuff here we'll go through. We went through some of it. I want to get a different perspective than just mine, than just Dolly's, than just Lolly's. I like to go everywhere to make sure I didn't miss a thing. And everything is in my description.
However, at the construction site north of Retention Pond 3, there was an area determined to be positive for human decomposition odor and potential remains.
Hit that like button, would you?
So there's some text written that we're going to get into shortly. Also at Manska Creek and at the Old Hickory Dam. So this is about 5 miles away from Sebastian's house. It was also determined that there were positive hits.
And see, this gives you a great idea of what's happening in this case and what this report shows. 5 miles from his home. If that's true, again, take it with a grain of salt. I don't know anybody that would sit there and put this 38-page detailed report with their credentials, guys. Now, I work with a person that does things like this. They do forensic analysis, and they have to do all of that you see in the report, credentials and write-ups and all the things. I don't know why somebody would fake that type of report, but who knows? 5 miles away from Sebastian's home.
Human decomposition order and potential remains. Now, let's be very clear that human remains detection dogs, cadaver dogs, they're not looking for one particular person's scent. That's what live scent trackers do, or at least what some live scent tracker dogs do.
Thank you.
This is any
human
remains. So just because we've got a positive hit for human remains doesn't mean it's Sebastian. It could be someone else who died in the dam area ages ago, right? So, and there's still some bones or remains there.
But listen, guys, I really am going to be completely real with you that, yeah, I do need the one that's not redacted, but right now I have the redacted one. And I wouldn't want to put anyone else up because I don't want people calling them. I cannot see SF placing his name in a fake report. This is SF livelihood. And that's what I'm saying. And thank you so much, NorCal, SoGal. Love me some J-Gay, right? Yeah. It's a compliment. I don't take that as an insult. What's up, KCC? It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't. Why would someone do that? My boss would lose his freaking license if he put a report together, put his credentials on there, and went and testified for forensic analysis. He would lose his freaking livelihood.
In the area. But we'll get the map up and we'll show exactly where these things are. Old Hickory Dam southwest, at the opposite side of the river to Manska Creek, was negative. The Cumberland River, now Cumberland River is huge. I don't know exactly where in the Cumberland River. I assume it's the Cumberland River around the dam, was also negative. Okay, so we start off with retention pond 2. So the information for retention pond 1 isn't available. So we've got, let me just get the map up just for a second.
Yeah, this is what I want to show you guys.
This is the most recent iteration of Google Maps. This is from October 2025. And you can see here that all...
And I'm going to pull the words down real quick because I want you to see the maps. That's the part that I want to show you. And yeah, I do love her accent. It's soothing, but she is so detailed in her videos. Now, Kitty Hawk says, Steve F.